My name is Karina, and today I am bringing you a crock pot soup recipe. It is called slow cooker sausage and tortellini stew. I found this online. I'm not sure exactly where I found this, but as soon as I saw the recipe, I knew that we definitely wanted to try this. It has all the ingredients in it that me and my family love. So I went ahead and made it, and it ended up being a very delicious soup, and it's easy, very simple. So I was thinking this would actually be perfect for the holidays, as everyone is running around, maybe going Black Friday shopping, doing Christmas shopping. You can pop this into your crock pot, come home at the end of a day, have dinner ready. All you have to do is put the tortellini in at the end, wait for 10 minutes, and your dinner is done for you. The recipe will be down below, and if you want to see how it's made, come along. Okay, you will have to excuse the noise of the dishwasher. That is what you hear in the background. But for the tortellini stew, this is what you are going to need. You are going to need 2 cloves of garlic, 4 ribs of celery, 1 large onion, 5 medium carrots, 1 medium zucchini, a crock pot, hot Italian sausage, cheese tortellini, which needs to be thawed, so I'm going to actually put that bag in the refrigerator while the stew is cooking, a cup of corn. I might use a little more, I just don't want to have the corn go to waste, so I'll see about that. A 32-ounce container of chicken broth. It calls for a cup of dry red wine. I am not going to use the wine. I'm going to add another cup of chicken broth instead. 2 cans of stewed tomatoes with Italian seasoning, pepper, salt, and 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Okay, first thing that you need to do is cook up your hot sausage. Get that all crumbled and browned up. While that is going, I am going to add the onion that it calls to let it soften and get translucent. So I'm just going to add that to the sausage instead of dirtying. Well, the recipe wants you to add all this stuff separate, but I'm not going to add it separate. I'm just going to add it one pot and then dump it, you know. I'm also going to start getting the stuff in the crock pot, get the crock pot heating, because you don't want to put hot items into a cold crock pot. So I'm going to do that too while this is cooking. Okay, I added just 1 can of the Italian seasoned stewed tomatoes just because I have the crock pot set on low right now, heating up for getting ready for that sausage. So I'm going to dump the other can of Italian stewed tomatoes. Okay, the recipe says to saute your carrots, garlic, all that stuff together to soften it up. I'm not going to. I'm just going to pretty much dump it all together. I guess I'm just a rebel that way. But if you want to follow the recipe to a T, definitely do that. It will be down below. So I'm going to dump in the carrots. Also, I use baby carrots a lot more than just normal carrots. That way I don't have to stand there and peel them and do all that. I can just chop and go. It says to use 1 container of the 32 ounces of chicken broth. Then it calls for 1 cup of dry red wine. I am not going to do that. I'm going to just add another cup of chicken broth. You want to add the dry wine. If you want to do that, please do. It calls for 4 ribs of celery, did that. Okay, calls for 2 cloves of garlic. Put a couple teaspoons in here. I'm going to add the sausage and onions. I did drain the sausage because you don't want that sausage grease in your stew. Okay, give that a stir. Wow, doesn't that look yummy? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this recipe. I've never had this before. Calls for a cup of corn. I'm using frozen. It doesn't say either or, but let me see how that looks with the corn because my husband loves corn. I'm probably going to add more. Yeah, I'm going to add some more corn. Woo! I'm going to do the bag. It ends up being 2 cups for the one that I'm doing. Ooh, that's a nice full pot of stew, isn't it? Okay, we are going to add pepper. It calls for a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to eyeball it and put it in. Same with the salt. I'm just going to eyeball it. Stir that in. And then it calls for 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. That I'm going to measure. This is actually a half a teaspoon measuring spoon, so I'm going to put 4 of them in there. And then the cheese tortellini, like I had said, it's in the refrigerator thawing out. It says that for it to be defrosted. So if it's not defrosted, I'll probably just run some water over it in a strainer before I add it in, just to make sure that it's thawed out. And that doesn't go in until the very end. So this is going to cook for 3 to 4 hours on high or 5 to 6 hours on low. I think I'm gonna go low on mine. Okay, I will check back when I'm ready to add the tortellini. Okay, about 10 minutes before you serve this soup, you put the tortellini in and you switch your crock pot to warm and put the top back on, and it cooks the tortellini in there for 10 minutes, and that is the result.